What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family without further ado. Let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
Language is the primary means human beings use to share ideas with one another. And if you were to ask the average scholar, they might describe the origins of the English language as mostly German, with major influence from the various Latin languages. Whether we know it or not, we use English words rooted in German, French, or Spanish all the time.
Hamburger, bouquet, taco.
But what about the commonly used English words that came from Africa? The African influence on the English language is a topic often ignored in academic circles.
There are quite a few words that are African in origin that are now commonly accepted English words. In Senegalese languages, wow, or something very similar to that, is the word for yes. And we say wow, of course, all the time as a word of affirmation now. Also words like yam, gumbo, okra, words like that, oftentimes we've been able to associate those back to African roots.
The black folk who learned to speak English learned to speak it from English people who were ignorant themselves. And so the ahs and the dems and the does was how the British people from the British Isles, from Ireland, from Scotland, spoke when they came to America. It was the poor folk who were the overseers on the concentration camps that they called plantations. It wasn't the highly educated, but even within us adapting this foreign language, this oppressive language, there were methods of speaking and communicating that were part of the African culture that we use to dress up this language.
100%.
Right?
To give feeling and soul to this language.
When we start talking about the preachers, that's something even more.
Right.
Okay, I know some people don't like when we reference AAVE, and I'm not speaking about us, I'm speaking about as a collective. Don't like AAVE, don't like the slave narrative, but I find beauty in it. You know, our people were able to develop languages like Tut, like Korivini, like Gullah Geechee, Geechee, like all of these languages that came out of it, and it's beautiful.
Right.
You know, and I also feel like people just need to put respect on our ancestors.
No,
they
100%.
were not just who the people said they were. They were not just a slave. They had names. And it's important for us to reach back and learn all the things that they carried on. The way we are, the different characteristic traits that we have. If we look further back enough, we'll see those things in us.
Yeah,
like
100%.
with you. You have always loved horses. You knew your grandfather had horses and trained horses and all that. But when we look back in your tree, we was so amazed at all the things that we saw.
Right.
Like, that was beautiful.
100%. One thing that gets me, though, it's like just the community and the culture of our language. You hear us speak in a way that, you know, grabs our attention, and we can generate. In a second you hear someone speak differently, yet they're saying the same thing. We can identify with this person's location so easily because of how they're saying it, right? And another thing is not a verbal language, but either from when we was doing the drums, that was a language to us.
Oh yeah,
the tapping and the dancing was a language to us. How we did our hair, and the most important one that still works today is how we look at each other like,
now you know doggone well they wrong for that.
that's a language to us, you know what I'm saying? And so much more. It's really cool for us, you know what I'm saying? But it's important for everybody to get understanding of it, so they don't try to play down on as if it's a crazy slang or something that shouldn't be used in certain locations, and you know, everything that comes with all the negatives that come with it, you know?
And saying that it's not educated language.
That part.
What is an educated language?
Only something that works for the one side that it used to cause success. That way when you walk through that door and you sound like us, you talk like us, we can understand like we understand, then you can be used as a success tool.
If you think about it, when it comes to terms of education, I'm a person who value education. I have degrees to back it up. I value that, but I also value what I was taught as a first form of education. And being able to enter any room and know how to have a conversation depending on who I'm speaking to. I love that. Love it.
It is because of the energy that emanates from the body, that gives life to the words, that transforms the consciousness of the
that.
people
The
hearing
transition.
those words. That's soul communication, brothers and
Yeah, yeah.
sisters. That's what we have, and we have it better than anybody else.
I
In the
got a
17th
question here. Have y'all ever heard languages that it sounds just so dark? It make you just want to walk away? We'll have that. Not at all.
18th century, when masses of Africans were brought to the Americas on slave ships, they were forbidden from doing anything that might be considered a threat to European control. It was a long list that included anything from wearing African clothes to playing African drums to practicing African religion. And one of the most crippling restrictions was forbidding enslaved Africans to speak their own languages, which hindered their ability to conspire for escape or counterattack. As a result, out of necessity and ingenuity, Black people in North America developed their own style of speaking.
But you gotta understand something though. Slavery wasn't that long ago, and you gotta imagine how many years we had to sit amongst each other in silence. You know what I'm saying? Going to work in silent, going to sleep in silent, gathering together when it's time to eat or whenever. All this stuff is happening in silence. So we had missed a whole big time in history where we was able to really unify with each other and talk in a way that we could really communicate. And that's why you may see today how people don't like to have verbal communications, or they may seem angry when they talk. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people going to be like, well, that's so long ago, this, that, and the third, but it does translate over to today's time because we did come from a time where we couldn't even dance with each other. Like, it was just so many empty moments that we had.
Yeah, all the
You know what I'm saying?
restrictions.
Too many of them.
We could only be free on certain times, and we had to follow schedules.
Not smiling.
Right.
None of that.
But what I was going to say is, even in those moments, you know, how we have had so many movies come about and so many books come about of those times, and how we see the sophistication of, although they had these restrictions on themselves, they still found a way.
Yeah, 1,000%.
They still found a way in different things, with herbs, with rice. They still found a way to communicate with each other.
It's crazy to say this, but it was code switching even then.
Right.
Right? Because they had to use the word master at one point, and then whenever he would dip, they would go back to their day-to-day conversational routine in a way that made sense in the time frame that they had it for, because everything was a window at that time, you know?
You know, it's one of my favorite parts of researching our history.
What's that?
Is the songs. The
Oh,
songs were so funny. Yes, we had a lot of those depressing, oh my God, they went through those songs. But when you discover those songs, when they were talking about the slaveholders, those were so hilarious. Like, our people were so sophisticated, and the way they held their power, and they were feared. It's just, I'm just thinking about so much at once. I'm always thinking about so much at once.
A seamless blend of English and African languages, and often wrapped in code.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade.
What is that? What is that movie we were watching? And
We watch a lot of movies, so
I know,
I'm
but it was a recent
not going to probably be too sure.
slave movie that we watched, and he wasn't supposed to be on that river or something. They was trying to warn him, brother, what you doing around
I
here?
forgot the title
what was
of it.
that movie?
I don't know the title, but I know what you're talking about.
And it was like,
they were singing.
Right, and he didn't know those people, but he understood the message of the song.
Right.
But the overseer didn't understand what he was saying.
And he was right there the whole time.
The sophistication of our people. That's why I don't demonize anybody who use AAVE.
Nah, that's a good point to make.
I could use both. You know what I'm saying? But just think about things.
God's gonna trouble the water.
Coded language, that is language that the enslaved would use to communicate with each other. so that their masters, the white community, their mistresses, the overseers would not be able to readily tell what they were saying or the messages that they were giving to one another. Oftentimes, there would be ways that they may want to communicate just to have some privacy, because so much of their lives as enslaved people was dictated to them. And to be able to have some agency and some control over their communication, that was something that they were very ingenious about. And so some examples that we have would be the Negro spirituals.
God's gonna trouble the water.
Every time he be going to the store, he be getting the same thing.
The indefinite, continual, or occasional tense is an African grammar device that is often applied to English. It is a tense that does not exist within traditional English grammar rules.
Where is this?
But it does exist within the grammar rules of certain African languages, and its usage in English is practiced almost exclusively by descendants of enslaved Africans throughout the diaspora.
Nowadays, we hear quite a few people, they'll use the expressions, he be going to the store all the time. You have the subject with the verb to be. They oftentimes would incorporate those vocabulary words into their existing grammar structures.
Shawande be tripping. And you speak this language, and you were listening to me, you understand that I mean Shawande tripping right now. He was tripping the last time I saw him. It's a perennial situation with him, etc. So that's 3 different time tenses.
Every time he be going to the store, he be forgetting what I asked him for, so then he be calling me, asking me what I be wanting.
Another way African thinking is often applied to the English language is in the usage of opposites as emphasis.
Yo, you heard that new verse? I Pusha T? Crazy. Stupid. Yo, LeBron's skills are dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah, that's how it be.
Foolish.
We'll say, that's a bad coat, or you're a bad brother. And we don't mean that in the negative. We mean that very positively. And so we have taken that colorful use of language, and we're still coding our language. But now it is not because we are shielding from an oppressor. It is because we have reappropriated a tactic, a strategy that was used 400 years ago.
Yo, she bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and
Talk like
there's
that every day.
another one that I believe is regional.
Which one is that?
And I say this because my cousin, who is from Texas, and other people that I know from Texas, this bothers them when I speak this way. The double negatives. Like, I don't want to go there, no. Like, reaffirming, I do not want to go there.
Yeah.
Do y'all do that? And double positives, too.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that, like, just a Louisiana thing? I don't know.
I think that's a Louisiana thing.
I haven't heard it from anybody else.
I think that's more of a Louisiana thing. And basically what we're saying is that don't ask me again. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't want to go over that no, just go ahead to bring that back in front. Your answer is no.
Or I'm going
You know
over
what I'm
there,
saying? Facts. Like, definite.
Yes, I am going.
Yeah.
Bad. What's so bad about that? Not bad meaning bad meaning good. Oh.
Bro, and we all have these conversations with our friends. And not people that knows the conversation, but friends, as in other cultural. And they'll be like, "What you mean they're bad? Like, should we not be by them?" Like, nah, you missing the point, bro. It's like what I'm trying to say is, and then we have to explain. And a lot of times we say this on camera too. Like when you with different cultures, sometimes you have to explain it so they can get understanding. Because when you bring them back around your friends, then they don't miss the points.
Right. College was a time.
Yeah, it was.
It was a lot of explaining. It was a lot of, oh, Lord Jesus, I'm going to just talk to you tomorrow. I'll tell you tomorrow.
But we got a lot of, you got so much, bro.
So
man,
bad mean good. Oh, you stupid, man.
I'm stupid. Oh, that's a good thing, right?
Oh, no. That's not good.
That's
now
bad.
you think, no, not stupid good, stupid bad. Bad, stupid. Wait, this stupid equals bad.
It's the language of the barbershop, the beauty shop. It's the language of that you sing your praises to God in, right? And I don't know, no black person who won't know what I'm saying if I say, don't know Jesus, can't tell me nothing about him. They know what I said. And they understand that there's a bunch of double negatives in there, which is a hallmark of the language.
Today, more African Americans are coming to understand these grammar rules differently than they did in the past. Rather than avoiding Black English for fear of appearing uneducated or denouncing it as ignorant,
Talk about it.
many now see it as an important link to the African American ancestors who built this nation and the African linguistic roots so many thought were cut off forever.
If you have not learned the language of the classroom, that is not an indictment against you. That's an indictment against the classroom. And if you come to that classroom speaking that language, and you're discouraged from speaking it, so that you are muted, and you get disinterested in education, that's also an indictment against that classroom.
We spoke on it.
A language was born. And it's the language that we speak to each other in. And it's the language that we innately, I think, understand. I'm not speaking improper anything. I'm speaking proper spoken soul.
Spoken soul. I'm using that one.
Now, as we enter to this new era of African pride and Black power, it is more important now than ever before that African Americans really understand the full story of who we are and what our contribution has been to the world. By recognizing and celebrating common heritage shared by Black people in America, Africa, and throughout the entire diaspora, we can work together to create a better world for us all. That's it for now.
All right, yeah, definitely. We're going to stop right there, man. And I want to go back to the church scene that she was talking about. Because sometimes even the pastor, like we say something, but it's the opposite. The pastor may be preaching and you might hear somebody say, don't hurt him, pastor. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying literally that he's going to hurt somebody. Take your time. But it's basically saying that how he's using his words, like it's going to really get a person free.
It's going to
You know what I'm
resonate
saying?
with
It's
them.
going to resonate them deeply. And it's going to really awaken them and, yeah, have them understand their day or whatever it is they need to do in the next few months or whatnot. But yeah, it's dope. It's good stuff.
Yes. Oh, speaking on the preacher's part, I think we kind of addressed it and then we kept going.
Yeah.
But the preacher is like, nobody could preach like an old I don't want to say Baptist, but an old elder.
Hey, I'm from that town
Preacher.
too. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't want to seem biased
Get the towel.
with our background.
Get the towel ready.
But that era, like I don't hear that
Fire.
enough today anymore.
Fire.
You know, like now I think non-denominational then took over kind of.
Bro, it's like that's when you
Depending on
walking
where
in
you
church and the pastor and the preacher's there waiting to shake your hand.
Yeah.
Everybody that's walking in. That's when it was really community, like when it was really small and everybody was like in there and the preach. He knew every single body in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
It was that one of them.
That old school cadence, like that.
Yeah.
You know, oh my God, just that's a whole other topic.
Feel that.
We are so happy that you guys are so interested in this topic.
Yeah.
We'll continue discussing it. Let us know your thoughts on this video in the comment section below. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.